Good afternoon, everybody. Colin here at IHopReviews.com. Today I'm going to be showing you my battery backup setup on my network and on my editing computer, my Mac Pro. So right here we have my Synology Nas, my modem, my Airport Extreme router, and my 16-port switch that is very oversized, and I'm only using 4 ports of it. But I'm using the switch to, I'm going to explain this real quick. So it goes from, the internet comes out from the modem, goes into the airport, so all the Wi-Fi devices are connected to that, and it's got internet access because the internet comes into it via the yellow cable right here, and then the switch is plugged into it on one of the ports, so anything plugged up to this switch will also have internet access. So that's the airport plugged in, that's the printer, so the printer shared on the network. That is that's for our garage door opener. You can control it with an app. So that's for the garage door opener, it's that little thing up there. And that is for the Synology Nas. So the Synology Nas is hardwired, has access to everything on the network. So as long as you're connected to the airport, you can connect to the NAS. You can also get to it from outside the network via Synology software. But down here we have my CyberPower battery backup. This is the one that used to be under my desk, but I got a new one, which you'll see in a second after I'm done showing this one. The CyberPower, you can get, I have a 60-watt light bulb on it right now, which I have on battery, because if the power ever were to go out, we could turn the light on for a couple minutes, just, like an emergency lighting kind of thing with this. If you have the light off, since it's a 60-watt bulb, if you have the light off, this goes up to like 300, 400 minutes with the Synology running and all the network stuff running. The only thing that's not plugged into the battery backup side is the garage door wireless link and the printer. Everything else is plugged into the battery, so the NAS will power down after 2 minutes of being on battery. It's plugged in with the USB cable. The Synology Nas automated supports UPS is right out of the box. You just plug it in, same way you would on a Mac. The setting will pop up. You can set your time. You can also have the Synology set to shut down the actual UPS itself when it shuts down. But I don't have that option checked because I want it to keep my network stuff running. Because a lot of the time when we get a bad thunderstorm here, our power will go out for 2 to 3 minutes. Sometimes just in like high winds and stuff like that, or it'll flicker enough to restart the modem in the airport. So this prevents it from having to restart and wasting, you don't have to wait on all that time. Also another feature is when the power goes out, if it's a really bad storm or something like that. We had a tornado warning one night. We lost power, so we lost the TV and all the cable boxes and everything like that. But since the network was battery backed up, we could still use our phones for weather. I mean, you could still use your phone for weather on cellular, but you still have Wi-Fi for all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit better. This is what I was using. It's an APC backups. I don't know what the model is because it doesn't say right there. But this is just their network backup unit. It doesn't have 3-prong plugs. It only has 2-prong plugs. So it's like made for a modem, router, and phone. If you have a wireless, cordless phone, you can plug in the base here, so you can still use that in a storm because the phone jacks will still work normally when the power's out. So you can, if you have your base power, you can still use your phone. Thing about this though is you can't turn it on when the power is out. As you can see, it won't turn on. This one, I'm actually going to shut it down for this video, so I'm going to so there you go. You can see everything shut down. I should probably shut the Synology down first, but it was asleep anyway, so it'll be okay. I'm going to unplug that. The only reason the modem's still on because it has its own battery, but that's for since it's a digital phone, it goes through that. We don't even have it plugged up. We only use cell phones, so it's not. As you can see, it has the ability to power everything up. right from the battery, which not all UPSs can do that. So it's the printer starting back up since I just plugged it back in. Now I'm going to stop this for a minute, let the Synology boot up, and then I'm going to show you something on the Synology software. Okay, so everything has started back up, and I was actually wrong about the APC network backup. It will turn on. So you can start that up too, but like I said, I can't plug the Synology into it or the switch because they all have 3-prong cables. So I'm going to scroll down. As you can see, this station is working well. I'm going to test the backup. As you can see, the light is also still on. It's on the backup. It says we get about 94 minutes of runtime. Now we have a system event. It says UPS device connected to Synology has entered battery mode. Sometimes that'll go to, it'll say like attention. But apparently now it just says it up here. Oh, nope, it does. So the health will change to attention. Your disk station is running on battery power. Please check the power source. So that's a neat feature. It'll tell you whether your system's on battery power or not. And then we'll plug it back in. And the printer's going to start back up because once again it's not it's not on the battery backup side. So then that'll clear in a minute. And then UPS device connected to Synology has returned to AC mode. So you can also use this as like an event thing. It'll tell you, store the events. So that's pretty neat. That's the cyber power connected to the Synology Nas and the network setup up above there. Now I'm going to show you the APC that I have connected to my editing setup in my computers. This was a CyberPower 15 volt amp. I want to say it was like a 6 or 7, maybe a 600 watts, I think it was. I don't remember. I know the APC is 6 something, but I'll let you know in a second. I'm going to check. So this down here is the big boy, the APC. Backups XS 1500 865 watt battery backup, or UPS. This one is, I would say, like the little brother to the Pro. The Backups Pro 1500. They have a Backups Pro 1500. It looks the exact same to this, except the Pro 1500 you're going to get a battery port, so you can plug in an external. It would be like another tower kind of thing, just like this. That you would put beside it. You can plug it in. It's got 4 other batteries in it, so you can. I think you can multiply your runtime by like 5. Please excuse the cables back here. I'm not really, cable management's not my thing. I just like keeping the top of the desk neat. As you can see, nothing up here, Mac Pro, and that's just the paperwork for the battery backup right there. This one has a couple more features on it than the CyberPower, which is why I upgraded to this one. You can see the screen. We are drawing 0 watts right now. That'll bounce between like 5 and 0. We have the Eco mode on. Eco mode is it has a master controlled outlet on the battery side and a master outlet on the battery side and 3 master controlled outlets on the surge side. So I have my Mac Pro plugged up to the master and my speakers plugged up to the master control. So I'm going to wake my Mac Pro up by just tapping the keyboard, and you'll see that the speakers come on, and when the Mac Pro goes back to sleep it'll automatically turn off. If you have a master control, the master device that doesn't use a lot of power, you can calibrate it by holding the 2 buttons, and it will calibrate it so when the device is sleeping you just hold the 2 buttons, and then when it wakes up and it sees that it's using a little bit more power, it'll turn the device's control by it back on. You can also completely turn the feature off so it doesn't, you can still use the outlets without having to use that feature, which is good. I was kind of worried about that when I bought it, when I saw that feature, because I wasn't sure if it was going to be something I would want to use, because sometimes you just don't want your other devices to turn off but you still want to plug them in. Right here, you got the power button. Obviously not going to push that because I have stuff on. This is the alarm silence. The battery in this, I think in all APCs is user replaceable. It is $69 for a battery for this, which is not bad at all. It's a cartridge battery. It comes out as one set. It's two 12-volt batteries to make 24 volts, and it's 9 amp hours. I'm not going to take it out right now because it's 23 pounds, so I'm not going to move it. You can switch through the different settings on it. Same, you can do this on the CyberPower too. This one shows a little bit different stuff. In-out voltage, out hertz, which is, it should always be 60, I think. You have your in voltage, which is 123. Event, that's how many times it's had to switch to battery power. And then that's your runtime. I'm getting about 39 minutes. And my displays are sleeping right now, but my Mac Pro is awake. And then drawing 141-ish watts. You have your load meter up there, your online, which just means it's providing power to the device is plugged in. And then the little eco symbol. If you want the screen to stay on, you just hold this. You just hold this button. Now it'll stay on. And then now it'll just come on when you tap it, and it'll stay on for 60 seconds and then turn back off. But like I said, this is the Backups XS1500. They do have a couple different models in the XS series that are less power. Like I said, 15 volt amps, 865 watts, which is same as the CyberPower. Now that I check, but these are great units. I was gonna get the one that with the, with the battery plug-in. It's actually cheaper than this one for the same amount of battery power. Plus, you can get the external battery. But Office Depot didn't have that one. I didn't see it till after, and this one's perfectly fine for what I'm using it for. I can always order another battery and just have a spare battery around too, so that's not a big deal. But that is my battery backup setup, and that's how I'm using them: the CyberPower and the APC. I'm going to probably use the network backup one as like a emergency phone charger. If we ever have like a big storm and the power's out for a day or two, I can turn it on. You can charge your phone with it. It was actually that was one of the advertised features, is charging phones and stuff like that. But that's my APC and my UPS battery backup setup. This is ConnellWithARPReviews.com. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe.